Hey everyone, it's Katie from Katie's Scrappy Studio, and I am redoing this envelope video. If you're watching this and the other video has been taken down, I did it and some of it was off screen, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a problem for some people, but it was for at least one person, and I figure if one person commented, then there's going to be several others that didn't say anything. So I'm redoing this, and hopefully everything will be in frame this time. But this is a tutorial on how to make custom sized envelopes. So if you're making a card that is an odd size, this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card, and I don't have any envelopes for this card size. And so I need to make an envelope for it. And let's say you have a regular size card, a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, and you have an embellishment that goes off the side, and you don't want it to get squished and bent back behind in a regular envelope, so you want to make a bigger envelope. Well, this is how you do it. We're going to need a paper trimmer and some type of way to score lines. I'm just going to use my bone folder and my trimmer, scissors, a pencil, and a piece of cardstock. And you're obviously going to need your card in the size that you want to, and the size, yeah, whatever. So let's get started. The first step, let me just show you this. An envelope like the ones that we're going to make are basically just big rectangles with the corners cut out. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the left flap that goes over like this when you have an envelope. So to do that, you're typically going to be using 1/2 inch. I wouldn't go a whole lot less than that. So I'm going to take my 8 1/2 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to line it up and try and work closer over here at 1/2 inch. All the way down. Okay, so I have my 1/2 inch score line, and this is going to be my left tab that folds in. So set that aside, and the next step is to figure out where the other score line is going to be, where your other flap is. And to do this, I take my card and I put it over, and I don't put it directly right on that score line. I want to move it over about 1/8 inch, just to give yourself some room for this to fold over. And then I'm going to make a mark on the other side about 1/8 inch to the other side of the card, and that is going to be where I make my second score line. So I've got my little mark right there, and I'm going to line it up in my trimmer. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to cut it, or not cut it, but score it. Well, that was disastrous. That had a mind of its own. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to move this score line over to 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to cut. In my other video, I scored and then cut it later, but you can just cut it now. So at this point, you have the sides of your envelope completely done, except you have to cut out the corners, but we'll get to that. Next, we're going to figure out how far up we want our card or envelope to go. So when we have a card like this, or an envelope like this, you want to see how far up you want this flap to go. So I've got it right here, and I'm gonna see, let's see how far. Oh, and this envelope isn't gonna work because this is a yeah, this is a piece of cardstock that I had printed stuff on, so this is gonna have to do a different envelope for this one, but it'll work for this demonstration. So I'm going to fold it up, and again, I'm not folding it directly at this bottom. I'm leaving about 1/8 inch. So I'm going to fold it up there. I'm going to make a little crease right there. Hold that in place until I can get my bone folder and make a really nice crease right there. Okay? And so we have pushed this all the way down to the bottom. Lift this, pull this up. And now we have to decide how far down we want our top piece to go. And this one, actually, I don't need to cut it any, I don't think. It just needs to be able to cover this by at least, I'd say at least an inch, overlap this so that you can, you know, have room for your adhesive when you close it. So I'm just gonna, and again, not folding directly on the at the card's edge. Take that. So I've got that little crease right there that I made, and now I'm going to make the score line. So now we have the base for our envelope, and all we're going to do now is you're going to see on the corners there are these rectangles, and you're going to cut those rectangles out. We do not need those, so they're getting the boot here. Well, they're getting the scissors, but you know what I mean. Okay. Got this cut here. One more to do. I might speed this up and edit it, because that was kind of long. Alright, so now I'm going to take my corner rounder, because I want this to have a finished look to it. And the bottom piece is always going to be longer than your top piece. So I am going to go ahead, and I want these up here, these tabs to be rounded at the top. And at the bottom, where you have this little, where you cut your rectangle out, you're going to miter the edge, and that's just you're going to cut a little triangle out like that. And that just makes it easier for this to fold over. And these don't have to be exactly the same at all, because they're going to be folded over and no one's ever going to see them. So they can be totally off and no one would ever know unless they took the envelope apart. So, and then I'm going to round the corners on this one, round the corners down here. And what you can do is take apart an envelope that you really like, if it has a special shape to it, like this one right here. It has this diagonal, and then down here it's got this kind of curve, and sometimes I use that as a template to make my envelope a little cooler. So again, you're going to see this printing that I have on the other side for another project that I decided not to do. Then I'm going to fold that over. Okay, and then let's see. This is our bottom. So you're going to take some score tape or some strong adhesive. I'm using hot glue, and put it all the way along the sides near the edge. And voila, all you have to do is add adhesive at the top. And this flap is actually a little long. I would normally cut that down if I didn't have to make a new envelope, because this one's got typing all over it. But here you go. This is didn't show you the card. This is an easel card that I made. I'm going to be doing a craft fair, and I just kind of did one for the craft fair. So this one doesn't have a specific person in mind. And so here we go. Kind of difficult because I had that bumpy flower on there from I Am Roses. And then there you have an envelope, and it fits perfectly. So I hope that this was, I know I worked over here a lot, so hopefully that wasn't too much of a bother. But I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all soon. Bye.